Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So guys, I'm very much sure that this video is going to be getting uploaded around the time of the new moon of this holy month of Shravan. So guys, like the holy month of Shravan, which is connected with Lord Shiva. So there are like certain days on this holy month, like for example any Monday of this holy month, new moon, Nag Panchami. So these are the days which are considered as very auspicious to get any of the ritual done. If you have those kind of yogas in your chart, this could be a case that you are born around the time of the new moon, you are born with heavy affliction, karmic affliction to your natal moon, or this could be all the planets are hemmed in between the Rahu and Ketu, so called as the Kal Sarp Yoga. So any of the ritual done on these days are considered as a good omen in order to make peace with the planetary affliction. So guys, just because I just thought that it's a very good occasion where we can have our discussion on the Kal Sarp Yoga as well. Now just because I already have talked a lot many times about the signification of the Kal Sarp, how it influences an individual's life. The general mindset which people have around the Kal Sarp is that Kal Sarp in itself means problems, obstacles, like the way we say that all those people who don't do astrology with purity, like they have that biased mindset to extract money from people in the name of these rituals, and they act as a fear monger and all. So Kal Sarp, Sade Sati, these are some of the tricks in those charlatans' sleeve in order to scare the clients. So I just thought in this video we can have our discussion on the positive and the benefit side of the Kal Sarp as well. That if you have this yoga in your chart, is there something positive about this yoga as well? That obviously if you have done the proper ritual and now if this yoga has started giving good results, in which way it can transform your life. So in a nutshell, in this video, we will be having our discussion on the auspicious side or the positive potential of the Kal Sarp Yoga. And guys, like before we will get into that, for all those people who are new to Vedic astrology, so guys, how this Kal Sarp Yoga is formed. So first of all, how we can decode the name in itself, Kal Sarp. So Kal, it means the time, Samay. And Sarp means the snake. It means someone who is engulfed in the coil of the time. Someone who has been a victim of the pending karma or some sort of like sins which this person might have done in the past lifetime. Now comes the question about the formation or the eligibility, how this yoga is formed. So simply put, if all the planets comes in the axis of Rahu and Ketu, then this yoga gets formed. So let's say for example, let's take the original Kal Purush Kundli chart in the consideration as a reference example. So in the original Kal Purush Kundli, in the first house, let's place the Aries, in the second house Taurus, in the 7th house Libra, 10th house Capricorn, 12th house Pisces. So let's say for example, if in this chart Rahu is placed in the first house in the Aries, Ketu is placed in the 7th house in the Libra, and we know this thing that Rahu and Ketu always moves in a retrograde motion. Rahu is seen as the head of the snake and Ketu is seen as the tail part of the snake. So let's say for example, for this person who has got Rahu in the first in the Aries, Ketu in the 7th in the Libra, and let's say for example Jupiter, Moon, Mercury, Venus are placed in the 12th house. Sun is placed in the 10th house, and Mars and Saturn are placed in the 9th house. So now you can see that the head of the snake will start engulfing the planets, and by the time it will reach the Ketu, it has consumed all the planets. So this is what the eligibility or the formation of the Kal Sarp Yoga, which I'm sure a lot of the people will be knowing about it. Now this can form in any way. You might have Rahu in the 2nd house, Ketu in the 8th house. You might have Rahu in the 3rd house, and Ketu in the 9th house, Rahu in the 4th house, Ketu in the 10th house, and all the planets are hemmed in between. Now guys, in which all conditions this Kalsarp Yoga becomes more potent, more powerful. It becomes more potent if, let's say for example, all the planets are in the axis of Rahu and Ketu, and most important are the luminaries, are the Sun, Moon, and afterwards the third importance I will give to the ascendant lord. So if let's say for example your Moon Nakshatra plays a very significant role, so your Moon Nakshatra is also in any of the Rahu or the Ketu's Nakshatra. This could be Adra, Swati, Sadbisha, Ashwini, Magha, Mula, or Sun, Moon, or the ascendant lord is also conjunct with Rahu or Ketu, then it will become more powerful. When it will become positively potent to give you good results, if all the planets are in the axis of Rahu and Ketu, and the dispositor of the Rahu, the dispositor of Ketu are well placed, like they are placed in its own sign, they are like exalted, then we can say that this axis is very powerful. Now comes the question that what is the general perception or mindset of looking at this yoga? So guys, we know this thing that Rahu and Ketu represents the uncertainties, the surprise element, the karmic lock, over where no matter how eligible we are, how much we are putting efforts, how much circumstances, society, community is willing to help, even after that a person is struck in a loop of obstacles, failures, negativity, bad health, and generally it has been seen that the major blow comes in the houses where Rahu and Ketu are placed. So obviously if Rahu is in the 1st, Ketu is in the 7th, this could be in the marriage or in yourself, the matters of your health. If Rahu is in the 2nd and Ketu is in the 8th, the major concerns might be around the family, around the finances, around the joint resources. So this is what the general mindset is of seeing the Kalsarp Yoga, that if someone is born with the Kalsarp Yoga, oh my goodness, now this person is going to be facing all the hardship, struggle, failures, and in certain cases the natural biological life cycle, where we say that certain things comes as very natural. Like I'm talking about the majority of the population, like getting married, having children, having a sustainable job, having a good health. These are the basic things. So these people could struggle in that domain as well. So all of that is something which I'm sure you would already be knowing about it. Now just because in this video we will talk about that, let's say for example, if you are born with a unique talent, a unique combination in your chart, in what could be the benefit side of it. Okay, so the very first thing is that guys, I will just give you 3-4 points. The very first point is that people born with the Rahu and Ketu very potent, and all the planets in the axis of it. Now you call it like Kalsarp Yoga, Kalsarp Dosha, Sarp Yoga, whatever you call it. These people possess very strong spiritual potential. There is a very strong potential of the spiritual awakening. Guys, I always say this thing, Rahu and Ketu represents that hidden psyche, that subconscious force which cannot be seen with a rational mind. And this could be through Kundalini awakening, this could be through the hardship, this could be through the struggle, this could be because of the repeated failures in the material world. Somehow these people are able to activate those dormant talents and potential which a lot many people are not able to activate in the whole lifetime. So when we talk about the potential of the spiritual awakening, like the way we say, some people have got that blessing, some people have got that grace, some people have that shafa. And again guys, when these things activate, then the material things stop valuing anything to these people, like generating money, speculative wins, all those kind of ashram where you will go. So these holy people who have such a mass following, they have built so many ashrams that now wealth becomes very of no value to them. So that is the kind of spiritual potential which these people hold. Like, I will not be surprised if I will come across a very awakened kind of person, someone who is known to have like a miraculous power of healings, and in the chart of that person, Rahu and Ketu are very potent. So, and again guys, like a lot of the astronauts, like I've been seeing this thing because these days now it's a lot in the news, like Sunita Williams have been in the space for so many days. There's one guy from India, he has been also sent on a space mission. In majority of the cases where people are able to do these extraordinary feats, these are the people in whose chart you will find Kal Sarp Yoga. So summarizing it, the very first thing is that when we talk about the spiritual awakening potential, that is very strong in the charts who have Kal Sarp Yoga. The second thing is that the resilience and the determination of these people who have got Kal Sarp Yoga is very, very strong. This could be a case that, guys, that goes without any saying. People who are being strongly governed and ruled by planets like Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, their best of the time of the success generally comes in the second half of the life. This could be after 36, this could be after 42. So before that, they somehow become accustomed to repeated failures, hardship, betrayal, breakup, all of that they get used to of it. So like someone who has always been well taken care of by the life, you completed your studies at the right time, you gotten into a job at the right time, everything is going happy and dandy, and suddenly you get to know that your partner has been cheating on you, or you get diagnosed with very uncurable disease, a major accident, something happens, you're not able to handle it. But people who have got this Kal Sarp Yoga, the resilience develop because of so much of the setbacks which they generally have faced in the first half of the life, and because of which these are those people who tend to have a very, very strong iron will. Now the third point is that, like the way I mentioned, their talents tend to remain very unique. So like these are not among those people who will be like getting into Harvard or getting into NASA or doing something which is which in the material realm of the society is a symbol of success. Their parameters of success tend to remain very, very unique, and because of their uniqueness only, they carve their own niche in the society. So, and let's say for example guys, like if you come from a lineage or the family of the doctors, you come from a family of the businessman, and suddenly like you have got that Kal Sarp Yoga in your chart, and after a certain stage, like for example at the age of 42, at the age of 48, life is forcing you in a specific direction. So this could be a case that it's the blessing or it's the power of the serpentine Kundalini energy, the power of the Rahu and Ketu, the power of the Kal Sarp Yoga, which is now getting activated in your case. So unique talents and achievements is generally attached with people who are born with the Kal Sarp Yoga. And lastly guys, if I were to say, like these are those people who tend to remain a very strong contender when it comes down to their contribution to the society, their service to the humanity. Again guys, see, that is the only reason we say that Rahu and Ketu are they are the planets of the mass consciousness. So why we say that in the charts of those people who have got very strong Rahu, why Rahu is seen as the planet of the fame? The simple answer to that is Rahu has got that mass appeal. Rahu knows that what is in trend, and when we say that trend, how can you elaborate it or define it? Trend simply means that suddenly a large number of people is interested in the same thing. So that is the reason that, and the whole like Google algorithm and all the statistics work in this way only. If many people like something, the AI understand that okay, this is something which needs to be pushed more, this is something which needs to be promoted more. So that is the only reason guys, like Rahu and Ketu tend to remain, and they do not have a physical kind of existence. So the fame part you could talk about, and most importantly in the first half of the life with their struggle, in the mid half of their life because of the sudden success which comes to them, and in the latter half of the life, these are those people who contribute a lot to the humanity. Like the way I always say this thing, society collectively, if it actually gets benefited, it gets benefited because of certain elements. This could be the Aquarius. Aquarians are known to be the true philanthropic humanitarian people because of the Saturn. And on the top of everything is the Rahu and Ketu. So those people who actually contribute a lot, like some of the billionaires who have started with a very humble kind of beginning, in the midlife they build an empire, and at the end of their life they actually contribute everything. They promise and pledge everything to charity. These are the typical cases of the Kalsarp Yoga. And again guys, if you have a Kalsarp Yoga, there is no better remedy than the worship of Lord Shiva. I always say this thing. See guys, because I cannot talk about other gods in my life, I have primarily worshipped like Lord Kal Bhairav, Lord Hanuman and Lord Shiva. Hanuman's worship is something you start seeing and feeling that energy around you, that protection. Same is the case with the Bhairav and the Siddhis and all. But the bhakti of the Shiva works on a very deeper, subtle level, where your karmic, all those energies which are on a very karmic level is creating an obstacle. The worship of the Shiva works on that domain. So yes guys, it's a holy Shravan month, and just because a lot of the people just talk about the negative side of the Kalsarp and all, so I just wanted to talk about the benefic side of the Kalsarp as well. And any of the new moon, Nag Panchami, I will make a separate video on the Nag Panchami as well, all the Mondays, Shivratri of the Savan Maas. Every element connected with Shiva in the Shravan month is a very good time for conducting any ritual, any Rudra Abhishek, for giving more power to your planets. So yes guys, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. Once again, thanks a lot for watching this video, and for further more updates and notification on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.